George Washington was born in Virginia in 1732, a time when the American colonies were still under British rule. His family owned a plantation which was like a big farm, where they grew crops and raised livestock. When George was just 11 years old, his father died, leaving a significant void in his life. This was a big loss for young George, who had to grow up quickly and take on more responsibilities. He learned to be responsible at a young age, helping with the daily chores on the plantation. Instead of going to school like some other boys, George had to help his family manage the farm and its operations. He learned to read, write, and do math, often teaching himself with the help of his mother and older brother. He also learned to survey land, a skill that would become very important in his later life. This meant he could measure land and make maps, which was a valuable skill in the growing colonies. George became a very good surveyor, known for his accuracy and attention to detail. He was honest and worked hard, qualities that earned him respect and trust from those around him. People trusted him to measure their land fairly, knowing he would do a thorough and honest job. This work helped him learn about leadership and dealing with people, skills that would be crucial in his future. Even though he didn't have a formal education, George was always learning, constantly seeking knowledge. He read books about history, farming, and military strategy, understanding that knowledge was key to success. He knew that knowledge was important for success, and he made sure to educate himself as much as possible. As George grew older, he became involved in the military. He fought in the French and Indian War. This was a dangerous war against the French and their Native American allies. During the war, George showed great bravery and leadership. He was a quick learner and wasn't afraid of a challenge. He learned about military tactics and how to lead men in battle. One time he had to lead his men through a fierce battle in the wilderness. They were outnumbered, but George remained calm. He led his men with courage and skill, even though they faced many hardships. The French and Indian War was a difficult experience, but it taught George valuable lessons. He learned about the importance of strategy, discipline, and perseverance. These lessons would serve him well in the years to come. After the war, George returned to Virginia. He married Martha Dandridge Custis, a widow with 2 children. He became a loving husband and father. He was also a successful planter and grew tobacco on his plantation. However, trouble was brewing between the American colonies and Great Britain. The British government passed laws that many colonists thought were unfair. They felt their rights were being ignored. George was a respected leader in Virginia. He spoke out against the British policies. He believed that the colonies deserved more freedom and independence. He became a delegate to the Continental Congress, a group of leaders from the colonies. When the American Revolution began in 1775, George Washington was a natural choice to lead the fight. George Washington was appointed Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army. This was a new and inexperienced army, going up against the mighty British forces. The Revolutionary War was long and difficult. The Continental Army faced many challenges, including shortages of food, supplies, and weapons. There were times when defeat seemed certain, but through it all, General Washington never gave up. He was a strong and determined leader. He inspired his troops to keep fighting for their freedom. He used clever strategies and tactics to outsmart the British. One famous example is the crossing of the Delaware River on Christmas night, 1776. Washington led his men across the icy river to surprise the British at Trenton. This daring victory boosted the morale of the Continental Army. After the Revolutionary War, George Washington played a crucial role in shaping the new nation. His leadership and vision were pivotal during this transformative period. He presided over the Constitutional Convention in 1787, guiding the discussions and debates with a steady hand. This convention met to create a new government for the United States, aiming to replace the Articles of Confederation with a more robust framework. Washington's leadership was instrumental in the drafting and ratification of the United States Constitution. His presence lent credibility and authority to the proceedings. He believed in a strong national government but also in protecting individual liberties. His balanced approach helped to shape the foundational principles of the nation. In 1789, he was elected as the first president of the United States, a role he accepted with a sense of duty and humility. He served 2 terms, from 1789 to 1797, setting a precedent for future presidents. As president, he worked tirelessly to establish a strong and stable government, navigating the challenges of a new nation. He set important precedents for the presidency and helped shape the role of the executive branch, ensuring a balance of power. Washington's presidency was marked by his commitment to neutrality in foreign affairs, his efforts to promote national unity, and his establishment of key government institutions. His vision for the country was one of peace and prosperity. He believed in a government that served the people and upheld the principles of liberty and justice. His legacy continues to influence the United States to this day. Throughout his life, George Washington struggled with the issue of slavery. He inherited enslaved people as a young man and relied on their labor at his Mount Vernon estate. He recognized the hypocrisy of fighting for liberty while holding others in bondage. He expressed growing unease about slavery, referring to it as a wicked institution. In his will, Washington took the extraordinary step of freeing the enslaved people he personally owned. This act demonstrated his evolving views and his commitment to the ideals of freedom and equality. While he did not succeed in ending slavery during his lifetime, his actions and words helped to plant the seeds for future generations to grapple with this moral question. After serving 2 terms as president, George Washington retired from public life. He longed to return to his beloved Mount Vernon and enjoy the peace and quiet of his plantation. He spent his retirement years managing his estate, corresponding with friends and family, and reflecting on his life and legacy. He took great pride in the new nation he had helped to create. However, his retirement was short-lived. In 1798, he was called upon again to serve his country. He accepted the appointment as Commander-in-Chief of the newly formed United States Army. This time the threat came from France. Although war was averted, Washington's willingness to serve once more demonstrated his unwavering commitment to the nation he had helped to found. George Washington died at Mount Vernon on December 14, 1799, marking the end of an era for the fledgling nation. He was mourned by the nation and the world, with people from all walks of life paying their respects to the man who had led them to independence. He's remembered as the father of his country for his indispensable role in the founding and shaping of the United States, a title that reflects his enduring influence. Washington's leadership during the Revolutionary War was essential to the victory over the British, demonstrating his strategic brilliance and unwavering resolve. His vision and guidance were crucial in establishing a new form of government based on the principles of liberty, justice, and self-governance, principles that continue to guide the nation today. His presidency set important precedents for the office and helped to solidify the young nation, ensuring its stability and growth. He established a tradition of peaceful transitions of power and emphasized the importance of national unity and civic responsibility, values that remain central to American democracy. Washington's legacy extends far beyond his own time, influencing countless generations of Americans. He is considered one of the most important figures in American history, a symbol of the nation's founding ideals. His example continues to inspire leaders and citizens around the world, reminding us of the enduring power of leadership, integrity, and vision. Today, George Washington's principles and values remain as relevant as ever. His commitment to honesty, integrity, and selflessness serves as a model for leaders in all walks of life. His belief in the importance of education, hard work, and perseverance continues to resonate with individuals striving to achieve their goals. His dedication to public service and his unwavering commitment to the common good inspire citizens to make a difference in their communities and beyond. In a world often characterized by division and conflict, Washington's example reminds us of the importance of unity, compromise, and a shared sense of purpose. His life and legacy offer timeless lessons in leadership, courage, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Across the United States, numerous monuments and memorials stand as testaments to George Washington's enduring legacy. From the towering Washington Monument in the nation's capital to countless schools, parks, and streets named in his honor, his presence is felt throughout the country. His image graces the U.S. dollar bill and quarter, a constant reminder of his central place in American history and identity. Mount Vernon, his beloved home, remains a popular destination for visitors seeking to learn more about his life and times. Beyond physical structures, Washington's memory is kept alive through educational programs, historical societies, and countless books and documentaries that explore his life, leadership, and impact on the nation. His farewell address, a timeless message of unity, wisdom, and caution against partisan strife, continues to be studied and debated by scholars and citizens alike. George Washington's life was one of extraordinary service, sacrifice, and leadership. From his early days as a surveyor to his time as commander-in-chief and president, he demonstrated unwavering integrity, courage, and a deep commitment to the ideals of liberty and justice. His legacy continues to shape the United States and inspire people worldwide. As we navigate the complexities of our own time, we can draw strength and wisdom from the example of this remarkable man who helped to forge a nation and define the very essence of American leadership.